joining us at the fastest track in Europe, also known as Rockingham Motor Speedway.
This is round 6 of the Thundersport GB Championship 2016.
Yes, it's round 6 then of the 2016 championships with 3 more to go after this. Sara and Kirsty there looking as dazzling as ever down on the grid, looking like a dry day of racing for the GB Racing Sportsman Elite 600 class. This is Charlie Morris then, 157, the rider that leads the championship overall. William White here, who's 3rd overall in the championship, has been gradually creeping closer and closer to the guys at the top. There's Max Wadsworth. He's gone well here at Rockingham in the past. There's your championship leader. Second championship, Jordan Rushby, number 2. We just saw him there a moment ago. There's Max Wadsworth there, number 72, nearest to us. Championship leader, Charlie Morris, away from the line very well as they scream towards turn 1 here at Rockingham, the only anti-clockwise circuit on the calendar. Really good start from Jordan Rushby there. Flew away from the line. Didn't get a glimpse of his start, but he certainly made up a few positions. See there, number 101, Curtis Drew, former Aprilia 450 rider, trying his luck out here in the 600s for 2016, but it's Morris, the championship leader, that has the advantage early on from 72, Wadsworth. 47 then, in 3rd place on that yellow and white Triumph is William White. We're looking back now from Jordan Rushby, who almost throws it all away. A major moment there, the bike steps out on him and he allows Nick Edgerly through on him. Nick Edgerly, father of Lawrence, who races in the Aprilia Super Teens, and Nick certainly will be pleased to see himself up inside the top 3. There are Sportsman points on offer here as well. Charlie Morris leads that one overall also, but at the moment he finds himself in that position where he leads this championship outright. There you see, just going up underneath Jordan Rushby is 64, Chris Helliwell. Chris Helliwell, who of course has been racing in the Golden Era Super Sport Championship. Look how close this lot are at the moment. There's Nick Edgerly on your left. Wow, it's getting pretty close here between these guys, but Chris Helliwell obviously fancying a nibble here in the Sportsman Elite 600 Championship, a class he knows well, and let's see how he fares. Number 50 there is Lewis Barnes, of course the reigning Formula 400 champion with Thundersport GB, another rider who's looking to just learn his way through. Brendan Mallender there, we saw him just a moment ago. Number 6, nice to see Brendan up there. In fact, this is a lot closer than I expected to see here in this race, and Jordan Rushby makes up a place there. He goes underneath Brendan Mallender into the Dean hairpin, although it has just flashed up on my screen that Jordan Rushby has got a jump start penalty. We said that it looked like he got away off the line very well. He's not the only one to have been caught though. Also another rider that we know well, Johnny Towers, who's out there in this race, has also been done for that as well. He's jump start off the line. There is Chris Helliwell really pushing that Kawasaki. Sits here in the commentary box with us. William White, impressed to see William over the last few rounds gradually getting himself closer to the front. Here he is, he leads.
Hasn't he come on strong? He's unbelievable here this weekend. Had a good day yesterday as well. Yeah, brilliant. Lovely to see. Nice lad.
And Chris Helliwell, of course, a rider we know well in the championship, back in this Sportsman Elite 600 class for a go.
Yeah, Dave's given him a chance on the bike. It's what used to be, I think they call it CFS Racing now, but it used to be Phoenix Racing. I think Dave used to run Darren Ibbotson there for a time, and so anyway, yeah, he prepared a bike and they come and tested it at Rockingham. And Chris decided just to have a go on it, just to have a play, really. The only thing is, I think the old boy started to knock on a little bit. Yesterday he was huffing and puffing, doing 2 classes. You know, he's obviously doing the Golden Era Supersport as well, which he's obviously leading and, has to come first.
Well, the only good thing from his perspective at the moment is he's not really got time to be tired here in this race because it's going at a frantic pace. William White at the moment with nice lead, Then look at this battle and the charge for second place. Charlie Morris, the championship leader at the moment, in that second place, ahead of 72, Max Wadsworth. Then it's 64, Chris Helliwell. This is the battle and the gaggle for second place. There's Jordan Rushby, bright yellow helmet, number 2, second overall in the championship. He's trying to edge closer now as well, as Chris Helliwell tries to invent some new lines around Tarzan to get past Max Wadsworth. Wadsworth, who I believe was on the podium here at Rockingham in a really wet race, either last year or the year before. So he's a fan of this Rockingham layout. Not everyone is, as Jordan Rushby there does look like he's closing in again now. However, just remember, as I mentioned before, he's got a jump start penalty. Now, he may be aware of the fact that he jump started, he may not, but he will get 10 seconds added onto his time, which could be costly in the championship. Just up behind him, the 2 Team Edge RST clothing machines of Johnny Towers and Nick Edgerly, teammates here, as Johnny Towers though makes a right meal out of that one. He's gone straight up, fancies a lap of the oval by the looks of things. He's got a jump start and now he's gone straight on as well. This is not the race that Johnny Towers was hoping for as he rejoins the circuit then. So Johnny Towers with it all to do again, of course. Had a few goes out in the pre-national 600 class last year. He's quick on just about any bike he jumps onto. Here is Charlie Morris then up ahead of Wadsworth, and there's Nick Edgerly and Brendan Malander as well. Malander, another rider that's come up from the pre-national 600s. It's proof in the pudding, isn't it, Sid, that the pre-national championship is working. William White, of course, who leads this race at the moment, number 47 here from Watford on the Get Low Racing Triumph, is another rider that's come up through the Thundersport pre-national ranks.
Yeah, the pre-national, which obviously includes the freshmen for the total novices, I mean, it's been an incredible success. And in fact, sometimes it's a victim of its own success because the times, become so fast, they come close to these boys. But obviously we've got the Sportsman class within this particular grid, which is what Charlie Morris set out to try and win. Which he is winning admirably, like he's got double the points of the next place man, Nick Edgerly. But the consistency that the lad has had in his seconds and thirds overall has put him, as you said earlier, at the top, about 10 or 11 points clear in the elite class.
He's got his hands full at the moment though. Chris Helliwell with a brilliant move. Just at Dean Hairpin, executed very well indeed. Chris Helliwell with the more experience. Charlie Morris, another of the riders that's come through from the pre-national championship. Yeah, that championship, the Sportsman championship that this man here, number 157, Charlie Morris, set out to win, pretty much his already. And so he must surely now be setting his sights on that main championship. He may well play it down, but he's not fooling me. He's obviously got that opportunity there with Jordan Rushby and William White here, who's doing very well in this race. I'm sure it'll go down to the wire.
Well, if he was to ask me, what shall I do? What do I have to do to win this championship? I'd have to say, don't do anything different, because that consistency and taking the second and third places overall is likely to win him the championship. And you know as well as I do, Steve, you don't have to win a race to win a championship. It's that key of consistency.
Yeah, it certainly is. Now in this GB Sportsman Elite 600 Championship, much like the GP1 Championship here at Thundersport, there are only 3 races a weekend, so 75 points on offer each weekend. As Chris Helliwell there goes really wide. Oh, he was doing so well, but he's gone onto the grass. He rejoins, but he's lost a good 5 or 6 places there. Chris Helliwell's hopes of getting himself back onto the Sportsman Elite podium here on TV Day at Rockingham have been hampered somewhat by that. Now that moved Charlie Morris into second place, and at the moment, of course, he'll know that William White is leading this race. He doesn't need to push the boat out here because William White, although still technically in with a championship chance, is more than a handful of points behind him. So Charlie Morris would do well here just to settle for what he's got. There's another rider that we've seen at the sharp end of races before, number 21, Tom Leonard, on that Leonard Racing Kawasaki, a rider that moved up from the Thundersport 500s where he enjoyed a great season-long battle with Carl Smalley a couple of years back. Didn't get on so well in the Golden Era class, but has now really found his form again in the 600s and is currently in this race up in the top 15. Not quite as many Sportsman Elite 600 riders here at Rockingham than what we're used to seeing on a regular basis in the Thundersport paddocks. But we're expecting a full house again when we arrive in Anglesey. And I suppose the big threat for the likes of Charlie Morris and Jordan Rushby there will be one or two of the local visitors that we have. A few riders that, of course, hail from Wales. We're on board with Rushby here, really snaking the bike around. So easy to do. We've seen it happen so often. But he's run wide and he's allowed Nick Edgley through. So Nick Edgley at the moment, he's having probably the ride of his season so far. But going back to Anglesey quickly, we've always had 3 or 4 riders enter Anglesey and can win those races, so it's going to be an interesting end to the season.
Yeah, we've got some specialised riders that always come to Anglesey, not least of all, of course, the Isle of Man and those from the Emerald Isle that jump across the Irish Sea for a visit, you know, because that's nice and close for them, really. But going back to this championship overall, I mean, I have to say that I would have firmly tipped Jordan Rushby for this, but he's had so much bad luck, some really horrific crash. Oh, that was a bit close. Yeah, some horrific crashes, and I mean, I think that he's done really well actually to come back and be where he is now, only a handful of points behind. But I don't think this is his favourite track either. You know, I mean, he's here just for damage limitation mostly.
It certainly is. There won't be too many people that will be disappointed to leave Rockingham. It is, as we mentioned before, it isn't everyone's favourite circuit, but Nick Edgley might argue that at the moment. He's having one of the best rides of the season. William White, likewise. In fact, the top 3 at the moment are riders that we don't often see on a regular basis on the podium. That's an interesting, tight defensive line from Nick Edgley there. I thought he was going to go and T-bone Max Wadsworth for a moment, but William White, what a brilliant performance this is from him. Could this really trigger his season into gear? Currently 3rd overall in the standings, a race win here. Of course, we've got another race coming up later as well, another 25 points opportunity as we see that battle for third continuing between Nick Edgley and Max Wadsworth. This is Charlie Morris, who's really pushing it a bit there, trying to go underneath some traffic and put a lap on one of the tail enders. On board here with Jordan Rushby. Looking back at number 94 there, Ross Simpson, of course, not mentioned Ross as yet. Ross, a former super teen, former 450 rider, getting used to the 600 now. This would be a strong performance from him if he can hold it where it is. And of course then you just saw Chris Helliwell, who's getting himself back into the frame, having run wide at Dean Hairpin a few laps ago. On to the start finish straight for William White, and he sees the last lap flag. William White, who hasn't seen the top step in this Sportsman Elite 600 Championship on TV day before, could well give himself a chance of a winner's trophy here, former pre-national rider.
Well, before I run back down to the podium for a presentation, I must just say we mustn't be too hard on Rockingham. One of the things about bike races is they know what they like and like what they know, and of course nobody else comes here. Nobody else, no other organisation races here at Rockingham now. So it's a pretty tough one. Now, as it happens, this is the best turnout we've ever had for Rockingham, but not for this particular class. There was only 20 entered, which is really unusual. We normally turn them away, having to turn them away. So, but I think it's a fabulous facility, and it's just something that people love or hate. I know we say that, but you know, most of the guys in all the other classes really do like it.
Well, one person that really does like it at the moment is William White, because here he is then just a couple of corners away from securing victory. Jordan Rushby here battling in the closing stages with Chris Helliwell and Brendan Mallender. Both of these guys will end up finishing ahead of him anyway because of that 10-second penalty that he will get added to his time for the jump start, although Chris Helliwell doesn't care about that. He goes up the inside of him anyway. The checkered flag goes out. A brilliant win for William White, and an easy win, really, when you consider where the rest of the field is. Charlie Morris will hold on to his championship lead. He's crossed the line in second place, and a brilliant result for Nick Edgley as well, who's 3rd overall and 2nd in the Sportsman. Max Wadsworth is 4th, Ross Simpson 5th, and Chris Helliwell returning to the class as a one-off for the weekend, finishing in 6th place. There's your top 3 outright: William White, Charlie Morris and Nick Edgley. And in the Sportsman, it's Charlie Morris from Nick Edgley and Brendan Mallender.
Brendan, third place there in the Sportsman. Well, you must be well chuffed.
Just a bit. I only managed to get one lap in yesterday with qualifying. Unfortunately, I crashed. Struggling yesterday with arm pump, so this has made up for it.
Excellent, very well done. And have you got any sponsors?
I have. I'm sorry I can't name it all, but I just thank you all. Cheers.
I love it. Well done. Nick, fantastic showing, and you've got third place in the Elite and second place in the Sportsman. So, I mean, you got 2 trophies. And as I said to you a moment ago when you came up, are you taking tips from your son Lawrence, who got on the podium?
Take my hat off to him. He's doing really, really well. He's enjoying the racing. For me, this is just a fantastic part of my life, and I love racing with Thundersport. I'd like to dedicate this to the over 50s, of course, but also to my sponsor, which is Monex Europe Limited. Let it keep on coming.
Charlie, winner in the Sportsman category and second in the Elite. I mean, wow.
I didn't have much of an answer to William White. He was just quicker, to be honest, so fair play to him.
So what you really wanted to do was win the thing outright?
Yeah, I got the whole shot and I was hoping I could hold it, but he's just a bit quicker, so...
Well, you're having a fantastic season all round. Sponsors to thank?
MSG Racing, Gavin and Lisa for everything they do. Speedy Fasteners for giving us the Zeus Fasteners screen bolts, and everyone that supports me.
William, I mean, fantastic day yesterday. You shoe them all the way home, and you've gone and repeated it again now.
Yeah, I don't know what to say. I mean, I think I just enjoyed it. Sorry, I'm not used to having interviews, so I don't really know what to say, but I think I just enjoyed the race, you know, and then when you enjoy something, you get smoother, and I think a happy rider's a faster rider. But, you know, I felt confident after yesterday's race, and I thought, you know, if I'd try and do the same again, I'll be able to do it again. But yeah, the main thing is I enjoyed it. I just couldn't stop smiling, really, and yeah, I think it went well. So, yeah.
And can't wait for race 2, eh?
Can I? But like I say, I want to say thanks to all my family that are here, my sisters are at home, they're supporting. But, you know, yeah, so I really enjoyed it. So this is for them, really.
Well, he's got a chance to do the double here today. Join us again in a moment for race 2. Time for race 2 in the GB Racing 600 Sportsman Elite. William White, the winner earlier on. Rather convincing victory for him, and gives himself this chance late on in the championship to get himself back in the frame. Charlie Morris here leads overall in the championship. There is William White, and of course look out for Jordan Rushby as well, who so far perhaps isn't having his greatest weekend, but he's got a chance here to put that right. There he is, number 2, bright helmet, can never miss Jordan. Not had things all his own way so far this season. What will happen in race 2? Look out also for Max Wadsworth here, number 72. Number 64, Chris Helliwell on board with Charlie Morris, who rockets away from the line on the MSG Suzuki to, I believe, take the lead. And he has the whole shot. There's Brendan Malander up ahead of one of the Team Edge RST machines. I think that was Nick Edgley. Here we are on board with Morris. Then look who that is coming up the inside and maybe nudging him, and does. I think they touch there. Jordan Rushby, his championship rival, just forces his way through on Charlie Morris, and then we were on board with Jordan himself. Further back there, Sam McFarlane's just being overtaken by Brendan Malander, who's trying to get himself in the frame for this one as well. He was on the Sportsman podium in race 1. Can he repeat that here in race 2? This is what we wanted to see. The championship 3 at the top overall are 1, 2 and 3 on circuit, as you look at it, and that's exactly what we wanted. Can they stop William White, though, who's just there in third at the moment on the yellow and white tribe? Max Wadsworth there in fourth place as well, but it's Jordan Rushby, number 2, that has the early advantage. Curtis Drew with a really good start there as well. Number 101. Good to see Curtis getting himself up there into the top 5 or 6. He showed when he was on his Aprilia Super Team in his very first season what he had the potential to do. He's a talented rider, but again, one of those riders who's not always had the best of luck. The black and pink machine there, number 88, is Richard Stubbs from Stone on that DCI Yamaha, but out front, it's number 2, the Russia's Racing Yamaha, Jordan Rushby, who has this advantage. Brenda Malander there, just up behind number 94, Ross Simpson. Chessington on the JDF racing machine. Interesting to see that John Davis has got himself involved in a 600. I never thought I'd see the day coming where John would have a play around with one of the Kawasaki's. But Ross Simpson is a great rider, and once he gets to grips with that 600, he's certainly got the right frame. He's a tall rider to be able to move his way up through the standings. This is Jordan Rushby then. Not the first time we've seen him leading a race, from Charlie Morris and William White, who looks a threat there in third, the race winner from earlier. Max Wadsworth there in fourth. He'll want to get himself on the podium. Now we're on board with Morris. There is William White. This is the battle for second place. William White up the inside into Tarzan. Wonderfully done there. That's how to execute the move and squeeze past Charlie Morris. So the championship leader for the time being has been pushed down to third place. Sits here with me in the commentary box. Great race so far here from these 4.
Yeah, and I think Charlie Morris's rear-facing camera took a nudge off Jordan Rushby because it sort of seems to be changing direction quite a bit up and down at the moment. But yeah, brilliant racing. And then just straight away after what I said about Jordan, look what he does, goes and takes the lead. He's got somebody for close company though.
He certainly has, and the pace is hot as well. Don't just think that because we're looking at these riders, some of them moving up through the ranks from pre-national, that these guys maybe aren't as quick as the previous Sportsman Elite 600s that we had on this circuit. Last year, Matt Truelove got the lap record at 25.296. Well, at the moment, these guys are not far away from that pace at all. Jordan Rushby here, number 2, on board with him. That's an interesting line he took there. And William White is all over the back of him here, just like that angry wasp, trying to find his way past and get through. And if he is to get through, can he do what he did earlier on in race 1? He's got through. And now it's going to be a test of the resolve of these 3 guys in second, third and fourth. Jordan Rushby. William White has looked in great form. He's picked his moments to get through on both Charlie Morris and Jordan Rushby. He is the rider of the top 3 overall that perhaps you wouldn't have pinpointed as a championship threat coming into this weekend. We might have to reconsider after this race, because William White has put together the most spectacular performances as he now tries to build a lead over Jordan Rushby. Charlie Morris wide on the exit there. The rider in third place has just for now lost touch of the leading group. Here we go through turn 1 then. Jordan Rushby, just you can see him wrestling that Yamaha. This is an improved performance in race 2 for Jordan Rushby compared to what we saw earlier on. The jump start, look at that, he's launching an attack. Brilliantly done there from Jordan Rushby, backing his Yamaha in and then slotting himself up the inside. Can even afford a cheeky look over at William White. Who's going to say, oh, I'll tell you what, I'll go one better and I'll do you around the outside into Yentwood. Brilliant stuff there from William White. Well, this is fantastic racing here, and it's clean as well, which is the most important thing, although you could argue that earlier on in the race, Jordan Rushby and Charlie Morris didn't look quite so clean. There is Morris with his hands full of Max Wadsworth in 4th place. Further back behind this group, Curtis Drew still in 5th place. There was just number 88, Richard Stubbs and Lewis Barnes. They're in for some points here in 11th and 12th. On board now with Charlie Morris. There is Max Wadsworth closing and closing. Number 72, the rider from Halifax on the Specialised Group Kawasaki. Charlie Morris on the MSG Suzuki. He's gone wide. He's gone wide down into the Brook chicane, and he's lost out now on 3rd place too. And the championship leader may be feeling a bit of pressure here in this second race. He's dropped down to 4th. This is your race leader, William White. Across the line we go, a 1:25.226, and that is a new lap record for William White. He is absolutely flying, but look how well Jordan Rushby goes into the hairpin there. William White has a quick check over his shoulder. Have we got any company, or can we just dice this out together? He knows exactly what he has to do now. Jordan Rushby's not giving up on this one easily. So quick into that Dean hairpin, Sid.
Unbelievably, just seems to cut that corner. But as we said earlier, you know, it's when you take the fastest line, it's you do leave the door open, particularly at that hairpin. But you know, just look at the body language of William White. He just looks so confident. It's almost like he can put that bike where he wants.
Yeah, different rider to what we've seen in previous rounds. I mean, he's done very well this season so far. He's in the top 3. We've noticed how much of a rise and a climb he's made so far this season, but nothing like this. He takes a big chunk full of dirt out of the Rockingham scenery there and isn't going to be able to make a move on Rushby through the chicane, but he's certainly very close. In fact, I tell you what, I thought he was going to have a nibble up the inside there into the final left-hander. As it is, he tries to line that Triumph up to get into the slipstream. Let's see what they're like on speed difference. Of course, William White has got the slipstream there, but I'd fancy there's not a lot to split between those two machines, the Yamaha and the Triumph. Jordan Rushby then, who's been so quick into the Dean hairpin, it's now his turn to defend from William White. William White just sits there, watches. He takes a different line, but watch this, it'll give him the drive on the exit. Can he get himself now close enough to have a go up the inside into Yetwood? No, not this time.
Great bit of editing there by Miles at Last Lap TV, on board and off board. Very, very good. Makes it really exciting to watch.
Yeah, fantastic racing as ever, and well, we're following these two. Look at William White, the speed he's got round these left-handers. He's unbelievable as he closes into the tail of Jordan Rushby, and every time you think he's just about to make a move, his nose is chopped off by Jordan. This is a race that could go all the way to the line. William White, though, up the inside again, the door left open, and William White does not need an invitation to go up the inside into Tarzan. Jordan Rushby's going to have to work for this, but Rushby also needs to be aware that he is up ahead of Charlie Morris, and that is the ultimate game here. That is what he needs to do, but a win would be brilliant. Here we go then, on to the start-finish straight. Two contrasting lines from William White, number 47, and Jordan Rushby, number 2. Further back, there's Chris Helliwell and Nick Edgley. These guys are in 6th and 7th place at the moment, so Chris Helliwell maybe just feeling a bit tired, having raced in 2 classes for the whole weekend now.
Yeah, 4 races in a day, which is what he'll do today. It's probably, particularly around here, there's not a lot of rest.
Oh, sorry Sid to interrupt, but there's a back marker there, and Jordan Rushby capitalised. He went underneath. William White was forced to go the long way round, and again, Jordan Rushby using that supreme speed and late attack on the brakes into Dean, takes the lead, but look, White's there once again. White's going to have to go. He's got held up there. It's not the fault of the back marker, but it's just unfortunate how it's worked out. Jordan Rushby, though, looking like he's making a bit of a mess of those left-handers. He will give William White another crack at this, as we see Adam Williams there, one of our Isle of Man riders. Oh, pushing at the front there for Nick Edgley, really pushing. There's Ross Simpson as well. Already looks too big for that 600 again, up the inside into Tarzan. The gap was there. William White goes through and leads. We are running out of time in this second race here at Rockingham, round 6 of the 2016 Thundersport GB Championship Sportsman Elite 600s. Championship leader Charlie Morris at the moment is facing life off the podium here in this race. He's in 4. Jordan Rushby in 2nd here. On your screen, really makes a mess at the exit of the final chicane, and that might just give William White the chance he needs. The last lap flag, he's out, and I think that could be curtain, Sid, because it just struggled on the power there. The bike was lighting up a bit for Jordan Rushby, and he won't catch William White now.
And to be fair, I think he will have a sneak look behind and think, do you know what? Discretion's the better part of valor. You know, at the moment, William White's not a big threat to his championship. Don't forget that Charlie Morris, he will be on the podium, of course, because if he finishes where he is, he'll be still first and take the top spot in the Sportsman.
Yeah, well, yeah, obviously. I know, that's it. I'm completely stupid, but,
but
he won't be on the main Sportsman Elite podium.
No, but
anyway, forget that. We are looking at William White here, who has this one in the bag. Number 101 there is Curtis Drew. He's on for a strong finish here. 5th place for him, up ahead of Nick Edgley. In fact, he's not that far away from Charlie Morris there, is he? Here is William White then. That clear visor, you can see his eyes. He looks quite calm and relaxed, although he hits that bump on the exit and would have felt that, that's for sure. Into the final chicane we go. A brilliant double win for William White, number 47. Will this be the moment that we look back on at the end of the season and say this is where it all changed for William White? Well, you'll have to stay tuned with us for the final 3 rounds to find out. It's been brilliant from William White here at Rockingham. He takes the double victory after really being made to work for it against Jordan Rushby, who in the end, as Syd rightly pointed out, decided to just wave the white flag and settle for 20 points. Max Wadsworth was 3rd, good job for him, up on the podium. Charlie Morris 4th, and does win the Sportsman. Curtis Drew 5th, and Nick Edgley 2nd in the Sportsman, finished 6th outright. There's your top 3. White, Rushby, Wadsworth. In the Sportsman, Charlie Morris, Nick Edgley and Brendan Malander. And now let's take a quick glimpse at the points. Overall, in the 600 Elite, Charlie Morris leads, but it's cut down to just 13 overall. But look at that, William White, what a brilliant weekend. He is now firmly back in the frame overall. In the Sportsman, it doesn't look like there's any catching Charlie Morris. He could actually be crowned champion by the time we leave Anglesey.
Max, brilliant 3rd place. I mean, you must be well pleased.
Yeah, I'm really pleased we managed to get on the podium a few times this weekend. A lot of hard racing, struggling to keep up with Will and Jordan in the last race, but still a really good race. Yeah, I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, it was good to watch as well. Have you got some people to thank?
Yeah, I have. Specialised Group, ND Hale Electrical, William Hayes Limited, Stewart's Hardware, and all the rest of everyone for supporting me and coming down to watch.
Jordan, well, you've had a few tricky weekends racing of late, but it looks like it's sort of all finally come together.
Yeah, well, after Alton Park, I left my bike completely bent. Went testing at Cadwell the other week, and the yokes were still bent. So on Thursday night, my bike was still like in a damage from Alton Park crash. So went out on testing Friday, and it was like riding a brand new bike again. But Will deserves to be there, to be honest. From the work he's put in to get back to where he is now, unreal, really.
Excellent. You got somebody to thank, obviously.
Yeah, just my friends and family, my girlfriend, everyone on my levers, Andy at Intergear, just everyone that helps me out in general. Thank you.
William, what a weekend. A brand new lap record there, which is not easy around this place.
No, I don't know where it came from, to be honest. I have to say, if it wasn't for Jordan pushing me, I don't think I would have got it because, you know, like he said, I deserved it, but he flipping rode well as well, and do you know what, it was one of my favourite races I've ever had riding with him, and I'd love to do it again, to be honest.
Well, it was terrific to watch, I can tell you that.
And I was the whole time, so I was like, oh my God, I can hear him like behind me the whole time, chasing me, and he overtook me, and then I tried thinking to stick with him and then get him back, and I think that sort of get me going really, and do you know what, I've never loved a race so much. That's brilliant, loved it.
Yeah, so did we, but it's time to pack up now, leave Rockingham and head for the hills in northwest Wales. We'll see you at Anglesey next time out.